Hello, everyone. My name is David Rudow, and I'm here to talk to you guys about the stars. As many of you may or may not know, we live in the universe. And in this universe, we live in a galaxy similar to this one here. This galaxy is similar in shape and size to our galaxy and has approximately 100 billion stars. Now, this number 100 billion, it seems like a lot of stars. But when you go up and you see how many galaxies there are in this world, you can see that there are incredible amounts of matter and energy. This image here is the Hubble Deep Field. And what they did was Hubble focused on an image. It would be about the same as looking at a dime from 10 feet away. And they focused on this small part of space, which they thought was dead space. Didn't have much in it. But as you can see, there's a lot in here. Now, to give you guys an even greater feeling of how small we really are, you can see here, Earth is much bigger than Pluto, but tiny compared to Neptune, or Jupiter. And if you go up even greater scale, you can see that Jupiter is tiny compared to our own sun. But our sun is a medium-sized star. And there are much, much greater stars out there. In this image, the sun is only 1 pixel. Antares, one of the largest stars that we know of, it takes light approximately 1 hour to travel from one side of the planet to the other. It takes light only 7 minutes to travel from our sun to Earth. Now, looking up at the stars when I was young, it was astounding for me. I wasn't sure why, though. I just would look up, I was 3 or 4 years old, I would look up and just say, wow. Because I would just look up and see all these lights. You could see the Milky Way. And to me, it was astounding. I looked up and I just said, there's so much out there. I'm so small. I've gotten a little bit bigger since then, but still, I'm very small in comparison. Now, it's important that we look up at these stars because these stars are our creators. Everything that we are, everything that we will be, comes from these stars, these forgeries of the universe, if you will. Because everything that we are, all the molecules and atoms in our body, come from the energy and the heat created in a star, forging together these atoms and creating new elements. So really, we're all stardust. We're all made up of the same things, these same giant things that create these small, intelligent beings. Now, as a culture, as a race, we used to have this connection to the stars. When we were cavemen, we would go outside and we would look at each other and say, which means this is really cool. Now, as we've advanced as a society, we've also moved away from these stars. Lately, it's been the light bulb and the television that have caused this disconnect between us and the universe that we live in. The light bulb simply because it obscures our vision of the stars. It obscures what we can see. We can no longer see the Milky Way at night. You have to go out far away where you know there are very few lights to be able to see how vast and amazing the universe that we live in really is. Now, just last week, there was the Perseid meteor shower, which I'm not sure how many of you got the chance to see. But I went out there with a friend of mine, and we just sat on the Grove Park Inn golf course. But don't tell anybody about that. But we just sat out there, and as we sat, we saw some shooting stars and said, this is cool. Then out of nowhere, we just saw this star slowly meander its way across the night sky. We had enough time to look at each other and say, this is amazing. Do you see this star? And we looked up, and it just kept on going. Now, everyone should have the ability to connect with these stars. But sadly, it's not our fault. We don't have control of our light, and we need to take control. The lights that we use now, the lamps, it's just a ball, or it has no covering on it, and it shines the light everywhere, and it directs the light outwards and upwards, and we're not trying to light the trees. We're trying to light the ground below the lights. So what we need is what's called a full cutoff fixture. If you think of a flashlight, the light bulb is below the cutoff line, and it only directs light downwards. We need to take the same approach to lighting our nighttime activities. We need to take these lamps, and we need to go to our city and say, look, we need to change this. We need to have better lighting so that everybody has this opportunity to see how great and how amazing our universe is. The second problem we have is the television. Now, you may not think the television is what's keeping us from going outside, but humans are very similar to bugs and moths. We're attracted to light. That's what first attracted us to these outside lights. We would look up at the stars and say, wow, look at this. And then we just sit there and just be amazed and be grounded. And it just takes us down and keeps us grounded to where we are. Now, what we need to do is simple. Turn off the television. Turn off the lights. Turn off everything that distracts you. And just go outside. Just go outside and lay down. And just look up at the stars. And see how much is really out there. Now, if I can leave you with one thing tonight, it's that take the time. If you're stressed out, if you're feeling angry, sad, just go outside and lay down and just look up at the stars. It doesn't matter if you don't have an amazing view. Even the view that we have here in Asheville is good enough to look up at the stars and say, you know what? Everything's okay. In this universe, I am small, but I play such a big role because, as we know, there's no other life out there in the universe. We're the only life that we know of in this vast universe. If you take the 100 billion stars in every galaxy, and they approximate that there's probably 100 billion galaxies in the universe, you get one with 22 zeros behind it. Now, I'm going to say that's probably a quintuplejillion numbers and stars. Now, there's bound to be some other life out there. But for now, all that we know of is us. And we need to just take the time to think about that. And think about, wow, we're small, but we play such a big role. Now, everybody just go out tonight and just look at the stars for 5, 10, 15 minutes. And you'll understand why I'm so amazed and why you guys should be too. Thank you.